So welcome to another exercise of our AC payroll. In today's exercise, we are going to configure the teams and all, and we'll learn about the team and why it is needed. And in the previous exercise, we talked about the policies and how to add policies to a group payroll processes that we talked about. If you have not done that, you just complete those exercise. And in this exercise, we'll be focusing more on the teams. So what is a team? So you might be thinking, so if you're having a team in the typical payroll environment for organizations. So you will be having sections in my system already. The teams have been already configured. Okay. So in a typical payroll environment, you will be having some people managing the data part of it. Some people in the payroll organization, they do all kind of a taxation point of view, all the statutory requirements. They complete that part of it. So if it is a small organization, you may not have a big team, maybe one people or two people handling everything. Let's say you are having an employee headcount of 300 to 500 people, you may not be having a big team. Okay, in that case, you may not require all these things. But in case you're having at least two people, three people in your organizations who are handling the payroll part of it, so definitely this feature will be helping you. Okay, so that if any issue comes in, so you can assign that particular issue to a particular team member. Suppose if you're having a data issue, you can assign it to a payroll data who officer or a person who is handling your HR data. You can assign that team member. If you're having any issue related to tax or any other statutory compliant issue, you can assign that particular task to that particular team member. So that is the intention behind configuring the team. Okay, so we have two things here: manage teams and my teams. Just as I have mentioned, manage teams is for the entire organization. My teams, suppose you are handling a particular team, that will be allocated to you. So in my setting at present, I do not have any teams. So for that reason, it is showing no team available. Okay, so now let's see what this exercise is all about. So this is the configurations. This is a simple and there are two things also. Whenever you are setting up a team, you need a team lead and you need a team members. Okay, because one person will be the team lead who will be allocating the task if any issues or alerts. Or alerts we means if any issue is happening, those things we call it the alert. Okay, so that you must be having a team lead and you will be having a team. You will be having one or more team members to whom you will be passing on the alerts. Okay, so that is the we will be covering here. Now coming to this exercise, particular exercise number 6, okay? So what we're trying to do, we will be creating in this exercise teams for different processes, right? And in this exercise, I say the payroll administrator, he will be creating two different teams, okay? And one teams will be two different teams will be assigned to a particular process, which you have just seen it. And team management only payroll control center, and one is a team name A, another is will be there's some details are available, so who will be the what policy, what who will be the team lead and who will be the team member. Okay, so we have already standard employees. Okay, we will be using those data for our convenience. Okay, so then we will be checking out how does it work. Okay, so with that note, so we will be going to create teams now. Okay, so in the manage teams, for that we have to go to the manage teams UI. And who will be having access? As a payroll administrator, I will be only having access here. Okay, so who, if you are playing a role of a payroll administrator, then only you will be having access to this particular configuration, right? So if I go to the manage teams here, right, in this UI, right, so you will be having so Z11. So you can see if there is already teams available, you can show in active. Okay. So already there are some teams are available. Team A is already allocated. Okay. But if I go to my process, okay, so my process is this one, Z11. Okay. So there is no teams available. Okay. So as a payroll administrator, what I will go to this particular process. Okay. Particular thing, Z11. Okay. There is no teams available. I can see that. I will simply click edit button here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, okay, I will be adding a new team here. Okay. So there is an option called add new team, activate, check team setup. Okay. So this is again very little tricky one, just to follow what I am explaining. So what I will do, I've already taken this step. Then after that, I've already selected the process. I will be creating the first team. My first team is team A, let's say. Okay. And what are the criteria? These are the criteria we will be following. So let's see that. So adding a new team, and all the details I will be filling it here. So let's say my team name is team A. Okay. Then you can see there is a 2 here. What is 2? If you are not fulfilling certain criteria, it will be giving an error. So at present now became E1 because I've already saved it. Okay, it's already saved now. So now what are the criteria? So the next part. The next part is team criteria. Based on particular uh, criteria, this teams will be allocated. Means you'll be given an alert and all. So what are the criteria? So if you see the guides, if you see the criteria, we have two criteria. One is a payroll area, another is a policy ID. Okay, so we will be choosing the payroll area. Our payroll area we will be choosing. So where is the payroll area? This one. Okay, so I will click the plus button here. So I will be choosing the payroll area which is relevant. So this is the monthly payroll for us. So I will be choosing that particular payroll area. Okay, so any error coming to this under this payroll area, then only this team will be getting the alert. Suppose a person is belonging to different payroll area, 12, 13, 15 like that, those error will I will not be interested. Okay, so that is why this criteria to be maintained here. Okay, so now after doing this, so we have policy ID also. So we have definitely you have policy ID. So which policy ID I need to choose? Whatever the policy ID we have created. So this is the policy ID. So this is the policy we have created. So I'll be choosing that one only. Select it. So this two criteria we have fulfilled. Now, once it is done, payroll area policy ID. Okay. So now I will be allocating the team lead and team members as well. Okay. Because without that, there is some human intervention needed. Otherwise, it will not be working. So I will be choosing the team lead. Whom? So I'll be choosing a team lead, a person as a, just a minute. Team lead will be Adam1. Adam. So I'm working with this. So this person will be the team lead for my process. Okay. So once it is done, the next part is team members. So for convenience, I will be adding only one team member now, but you can add more in a real-time scenario. So I will be adding the team member Linda Lewis. Linda Lewis will be my team member. Okay, sorry. So I have to add it actually, not from here. So basically, I've done it wrong here. So I have to click plus button here, then only I have to add it here. Okay. So not directly from the search button. Okay. So be very careful. So I have to use this plus button. I'm using Linda Lewis. Okay. So she is the team member to whom I can, this team lead can allocate the any alerts coming up and all. Okay. So that is the way we have to do. So now I think we are okay now. Okay. So we have a team name. We do have a team criteria. So there are other criteria as well, but I'm not making it complicated. So in this exercise, we just added policy ID and basically the payroll area. That's enough. Okay. So team leads, we do have a team members as well. So now as a next step, what we're going to do is once it is done, okay. So this is already we have done, add a new team and everything we have done. Then the next criteria is on the EC homepage, choose payroll from the home drop down, and we will be going to this one. Okay, this is already we have done. Add teams and policies. This is solution part. Okay, so this is something already we have done. Okay, attribute teams, team criteria, team leads, team members. The second team is already means this is already we have done. Okay. Now we will be going to the first, after creating the first team, we'll be going to the team setup again now. So we will going back to the setup. Okay. So you are still here, and what I'm going to do now is choosing the whatever. So now chooses a check team setup. Okay. So we will check. There is something called check team setup. So once it is done, we'll validate. Okay. Okay. So at present, it is showing the following team criteria are not assigned to teams. All alerts, what it is saying is, okay, so there is some issues. Okay. Criteria not assigned to teams. All alerts with this team criteria will not be assigned to a team. That means something is missing in our configuration. Okay. So that we need to check. Okay. So let's validate that. Check, uh, check team setup, manage team. So what is missing? Let's see that. Team A is there. Team A. This is there. Now going back, edit team. Okay, I have not chosen the right team, so I will be checking this one. Okay, check team setup. This is not active, so we will make it active. This is my team A. And attributes. This looks good. Team criteria. This looks good. Team leads. This looks good. Then edit team setup, everything. I will activate it. Activate team. So I will say that I will activate this team. Okay. So this is now has been active. Okay. So this is the way you can activate a particular team. Okay. So this is one part. Now coming to the next part. Editing the team setup, choose team setup to discover which team are not criteria. So this is a troubleshooting part. They have done it. Okay. So then the C has to name the new team, which is team B, and assign to a new team. Now the team is so and so. Okay, that is fine. Okay, to discover all these things. Okay. So what they are saying is they're asking us to create another team actually. So team A is fine. So similarly, we have to create another team, team B. And after doing that, there is some checkpoint. Okay, so we will go to that part of it. Let me check. Because this is before we go to the payroll process part. Okay, this is something we have to do. Okay, so this part is over. In this case, two different policies and assign the time criteria. So for now, we have okay to even for one team is enough to start with. The first team is created, and the same processes they are following. They're saying you can create also another team here. Okay, so same process. I will creating another team. Let's say like this, and the name of the team I will be giving a team B. Okay, team B, and the team criteria also I can put it like that. So let's say selects all the remaining options, edit team setup screen, choose setup. In this case, two different policy and assigns the time criteria to the team. In the following pop-up, you just assign to a new team, then CS define the name of the new team. Team B, choose assign to new team. Now the team B is created. For team only team lead and team member are maintained. Okay, that is fine. So for us, it doesn't matter as such because only we are having two people. Okay, and assigned to a new team. For now, the team B is created. For team B, only the team lead, Linda Lewis. Okay. So in the previous one, which we have seen, it was a little different. Team lead was Adam 1. Okay. And team member was Linda Lewis. Okay. But for team B, what they are saying is a little opposite one. Team lead will be Linda Lewis and team member will be it is swapping. Okay. It is swapping between these two people. Okay. So because these people may be handling different scenarios, right? So what I will do, the opposite one, I will do it. It is may or may not be necessary in a real-time environment whenever you're working, right? So, but for this exercise point of view, we will be following the code here. Whatever the things they're asking us to do, we will be using that. Okay. So policy IDs again, I'll be using the same policies IDs. No, they are saying to use a different one. Okay, so I'll be using a different one. If I have followed the exercise correctly, I did the team and continuous in the team, which is a B, and assign a new team members and all the things what they are saying, right? So now here, what I will do, I will select this. Later on also we can change it. It's not a hard and fast configuration. If you want to, if you mistakenly added some new different policies, you can always remove that also. Okay, so there is a flexibility, right? And payroll area, I'll be choosing the same one. Okay, and team lead, I will be using here as a Linda Lewis. Linda Lewis will be the team lead for this kind of alerts, and team members will be here Adam. Okay, so now once it is done, then we have to check the as usual setup. Okay, so we will go and check the team setup. Okay, it is not active. Setup is correct, you can see that, but we have to activate it. So simply we'll be activating it. Z11 setup activate. So it's done, right? So now this is having two teams depending upon your scenarios, which we will be going to discuss in the upcoming bootcamp session, right? And I will be informing you what are the next things, steps to do. But with this exercise has been done, okay? So we are able to create the teams based on the criterias, and the second team is created, okay? So now what they are saying for the two new teams, configuration check we have to do, check team setup already we have done, okay? And what they are saying is this is already correct. For activating, we have already chosen the activate option, okay? So now going back, okay, almost this is done. Okay, this step will be returned to the payroll control center, team configurations by choosing the back button. Okay, so this is again, we have already completed it. Okay, so what we have understood in this exercise is how to configure a policy groups, which you have configured for the master data. It's a summary of it. And we've assigned to the pre-payroll process. Okay. And already the basic setup we have done for the one-click monitoring and all these things. Then also we've created two different teams so that whenever any alert coming up, we will be able to assign those specific alerts to the specific team. Right. So with this, almost we have completed how many? If you have remembered, 6 exercises we have done for today in this boot camp. So I'm sure some value we are able to give you. So we hope it was useful for everyone. And in the next session, in the next videos, we will be talking about, we will be starting the actual run payroll processes. Okay, how do you run the one-click monitoring? That is a simulation payroll run. Then we will talk about your actual payroll run, which is your production payroll run. So we will be starting with that exercise. So for today, we have completed 6 till now we have completed 6 exercises, and in the upcoming videos, we will be starting with the. So we have a total 18 exercises, okay, and almost 1/3 we have completed. If you're attending live and if you're watching it in YouTube, or if you're watching already completed up to this, congratulations to all of you. So 6 exercises, almost successfully everything is done. Although there were hiccups in the initial, but we were able to figure it out. Thanks for your contribution to this session. And in the next videos, we'll be starting with the actual exercise number 7, and most important part is the 8, 9, 10. Okay, so once it is done, your actual payroll you will be learning as a payroll administrator. You will be 100% confident how to run a payroll, okay, in Employee Central Payroll in Success Factors. Okay, so once it is done, then we will be going further to understand the subsequent payroll processes and off-cycle payroll processes, payroll auditing. So there are many more other exercises. So have patience on this, and definitely go through the videos. I will be sharing the recordings, and if you are watching live, and people who are watching in the already watching in my platform, so you will be put your questions, comments if you not have any questions. Okay, then we will be happy to take those questions as well. Okay, so thanks for joining the sessions. Any questions, feedback, people who are watching live, you can stay, and others you can leave. Yeah. Any questions? Any feedback? No.
All nice. Got to know like the
Okay.
basics of payroll, how you end
Okay.
user use
Hmm.
success factors.